Hi friends, I'm Maggie Marr. I'm the founder of Maggie Marr Legal, and I'm also a USA Today best-selling author. And right now, I'm also a member of Cohort 5 of the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. And our first assignment as part of this Part-Time YouTuber Academy is to discuss our favorite things. So what I decided to do with that assignment is I wanted to talk about 3 of my favorite things about helping creators. So I'm going to go backwards with this. I'm going to start with number 3. And my third favorite thing with regards to my law practice, which is dedicated to serving and helping creators, is that I love seeing clients' projects make it to the big or the small screen. It's the best, okay? So for most of the people I work with in film and TV, or publishers or writers or producers, there is little that is more exciting than seeing their projects actually make it onto the screen, whether that's a 90-minute movie on Netflix or a theatrical release, or whether that's an episodic or a limited series. I mean, the excitement of seeing something you have created being fictionalized and put out and streamed or in a movie theater, it's just amazing. I've witnessed this a few times now with people that I work with, and I just, the thrill of it is fun to watch. So, I've worked with directors, screenplay writers, producers, and I've been lucky to see a number of my clients experience this great event of seeing their original works make it to screen. And from when I was an agent, when I was at ICM, I had the honor of working on projects like Underworld, Game of Thrones, the book He's Just Not That Into You that became a movie. I also worked on Bridget Jones' Diary. To now, when I have the privilege as a part of Maggie Marr Legal PC of working with Natalie Borelli, who wrote The Housekeeper, and Claire Cook, who wrote Must Love Dogs, as well as Thule Publishing, that every year has between 5 and 7 books that are made into films specifically for the Christmas season. So I can tell you unequivocally that number 3 favorite thing with what I do for my job is seeing my clients' projects make it onto into film or TV. So number 2, my second favorite thing with my job is negotiating deals and redlining agreements. Now, I know that to a non-attorney or somebody out there, that may sound like a really boring part of the job, but I can tell you that I love it. So I don't necessarily love negotiating on my own behalf, but I love negotiating for clients. And here's why. Negotiating on a client's behalf really uses a number of skill sets. So oftentimes when a client gets an offer for their work, say from any streamer, and they want to turn a client's book into a film or TV show, oftentimes that offer comes in a little bit below market. It comes in the best case scenario for the buyer. So it's my job at that point to look at what the offer is and to really understand what the value of my client's work is in the marketplace. One of the things I have to be aware of then is, what has that buyer paid in the past for something similar? Where is my client's work positioned in the marketplace? How valuable is the type of work that they're trying to sell right now? And then I suss all of that out. So I have to have my own market knowledge about film and TV and the entertainment industry, as well as the market knowledge of my client's work in the publishing industry. And then I have to go back to the buyer, and I have to be both convincing and educational in the way that I convey that information. Because obviously my client's not going to accept the initial offer, and I have to go back and explain to the buyer why they really should pay more for the client's work. Here are the 5 reasons. Oftentimes it's because the value of the client's work is much higher than maybe the buyer has assessed. There are attachments that add tremendous value to that piece of work. So we go back and forth like that, and I really love that part, because I'm never able to close a deal without my client authorizing me to close that deal, but I am able to convey to the buyer as well to my client where I think they are positioned in the marketplace and what the value is. So it's a form of both an educational communication as well as the ability to influence and persuade, and I really do enjoy that part. And then hand in hand with that is that once we close on the deal terms, you have to be able to redline the agreement. Now, redlining is very specific, and you have to drill down into the nuances of language. I'm a writer as well, a fiction writer as well as an attorney, and what I have discovered is that I really like using the word part of my attorney brain, which means looking at going through the agreement word by word and trying to interpret the nuances and make that document, that contract, be in the light most favorable to my client. So the redlining is just as important, sometimes more important than the negotiation, and I really do love it. So that's number 2 on my top 3 list of favorite things to do as an entertainment attorney. Number 2 is negotiating deals and redlining agreements. So my number 1, which you might have already guessed based on my enthusiasm for creators, my number 1 is working with creators. I love it. There is nothing that I love more than actually having a conversation with a director or a screenplay writer or a writer or a producer, anyone who creates intellectual property and content, about the strategies that they can utilize to monetize and protect their intellectual property. I mean, I really feel like I'm functioning on all cylinders at that point, right? Because here's the thing, if you take, for example, a book author, there are 8 to 10 ways to monetize one book, right? And so in the monetization though of that book, you also have to protect all of those rights that you're trying to monetize to make sure that all of the rights that you're negotiating and contracting out or licensing out are dovetailing in a really nice way so that you're not in breach of contract or breach of term with any other licensee with regards to the rights. I love strategizing about how content can be repurposed. I love talking to directors about what their vision is for the project and then conveying that to producers to see if the budget fits with the director. I love finding homes for material. It really is, I think, overall, this idea of being a valuable asset or part of a creator's team with regards to their content and how they can best monetize it and best sell it. So I would say that my number 1 favorite thing when it comes to my entertainment law practice is working with creators. So thank you so much for listening. These were my top 3 favorite things with regards to being an entertainment attorney. Below, we've also put a link to my upcoming book, which is Books to Film, What Every Author Needs to Know. I love that book. I hope that you will too. I'm getting some rave reviews from it. We're also putting a link below to the law firm, a link below to some of my own fiction work, and a link below to our newsletter so that you can keep up to date with regards to Maggie Marr Legal and the things that we do. If you enjoyed this video and you got some value from it, would you please click the like button? And also if you would subscribe, because that way when I post a new video, you'll be able to see when it's available. Thank you so much and have a good day.